morning, everybody. Hi. I am back in action, baby. What is up? How is everybody this Monday morning? It's 7:37. I'm a little behind, but you know, that's me for the most part. But good morning, everybody. How's everybody been doing? I've been gone for like a week and a half. It's crazy. It's actually kind of weird to get back on here again. It's like when you haven't been on it for like a week and a half, you're like, whoa. But hi, babe. Good morning. Well, it's Motivational Monday, guys. So I haven't been on in a while. Came back from Mexico and it's been crazy, huh? With the coronavirus and all these things, it's been pretty wild. All the toilet paper's gone, you guys. What kind of crazy crap is that? What's happening? Even though all this crazy stuff's going on, it's, it'll all pass. It'll be fine. We'll all be fine. We just got to be, positive about it and just get through it. But it's Motivational Monday. Recap wise, we've gone over a couple different, we've had 4 or 5 different Motivational Mondays at this point. I think, what did we do? We talked about a couple different things last time. Let me go back a little bit because I kind of want to recap. Sorry guys, I lost my little page here. But so we talked about holding yourself accountable. We talked about we talked about believing in yourself. We talked about understanding your why. We talked about getting rid of excuse-itis. That was a big one. So that was the last one we talked about, was getting rid of excuse-itis, okay? And just stop making excuses and actually just start doing what you need to do. And today, so the last, I guess, minus skipping, last Monday or whatever, the Monday before that was the excuse-itis one, but, walking into a see you later tonight. Okay, love you, bye. But today is about building confidence and destroying fear, okay? So the crazy part is that I think I'm actually kind of glad. Good morning, Brittany. Happy Monday. I'm actually really glad that I skipped the last Monday because I was in Mexico, because right now with everything that's going on, this is the perfect time to be talking about this. So you guys know that I'm kind of going through this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And the last 2 Mondays I've been talking about the chapters. So I did chapter 1, I did chapter 2. So I'm almost kind of giving you guys the cliff notes in a way, because I know there's a lot of people there's a lot of people that want to read, but a lot of us don't have time to read. Sometimes I feel like that's kind of an excuse. Other times I feel like really just with kids, work, all the things, it is really complicated to actually take a second and sit down and read. But so I'm going to kind of go through this book with you guys. And I told you guys that a couple Mondays ago, but I am kind of just recapping at the same time. So today we're on chapter 3, and I really feel like this chapter did not, it came at the perfect time, okay? And it's talking about building confidence and destroying fear. I feel like right now and this time in our country, people are so fearful, we're all freaking out, okay? We're buying toilet paper. Good morning, Amy. We're buying toilet paper off the shelves when the coronavirus, you guys, is like the flu, okay? It's not, I don't know why everybody's freaking out. I seriously do not understand why, but at the same time, I understand that the media and all the things, they blow all this stuff up and they make it seem like such a big deal, but literally the coronavirus is the flu. Thousands of people die from the flu all the time. People get strep, people get viruses. There's so many different things. It's a virus. There's nothing you can do. It's contagious. You have to stay home. You would do that if you had strep throat. You would do that if you had the flu. You would do all that anyway. So I don't really understand the whole mass hysteria and the, craziness of what's going on right now. But there's nothing that I can do about it. The only thing that I can do about it is explain my side, and, hopefully, it helps you guys in some way, shape, or form. But it's about building confidence and destroying fear. There's so much fear. And I heard this saying a long time ago, and I couldn't figure out which way it went last night. I was like, what is this saying? I can't figure it out. But this morning, it came to me. So fear, right? F-E-A-R. You can either fear everything and run. So fear everything and run. Or you can face everything and rise. The decision's up to you. You guys, this is a choice, okay? We can either freak out, run, fear it all, just like total chaos, which the devil loves chaos. Satan loves chaos. That's exactly what he's about. Let's not run with him and let's run with God. Some of you may agree with me. Some of you may not. That's totally up to you. This is just how I feel. You guys do not have to feel the same way. But you can either face everything and run, or you can fear everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. The decision is up to you. So that's why I think like building confidence and destroying the fear is huge. So this is pretty much like what chapter 3 is about, right? So fear, I think a lot of people think that fear is like a mind thing. I think that they think that it's not real. Fear is real. Like it is real. And we have to realize that it exists before we can conquer it, right? So fear is success enemy number 1, you guys. It's success enemy number 1. And you guys know I look at my notes because otherwise I'll be on here for a year because I can, talk to a brick wall and have a full-blown conversation. But anyway, okay, so fear is success enemy number 1. Okay, fear makes people sick. It shortens your lifespan. It lacks confidence. And millions of people accomplish so little in their lives and have little lives because of fear. Now, that's not me like doubting people. That's not me saying that, everybody is failures and the majority of the world is failures. I would never ever say that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that there is millions of people out there that live little lives and that are accomplishing so little because they're so terrified. And it could be because of fear. It could be because of, failure. It could be because of just not fitting in. It could be for a lot of different reasons. It's not just because you have to be fearful. But I think that is a big, big part, right? It also causes infection. Really, fear is an infection if you think about it. Yes, it's not considered a disease or anything like that. I'm not saying that, but it is though, because the moment you start feeling it, it kind of just like controls you. And that's kind of how an infection is. The moment that you get sick, it controls you. And it's just why? You know what I mean? Like our minds are so powerful that we can get rid of infection. We can get rid of diseases just by the power of thinking. As much as a lot of us don't think that that's possible, when you're sick, you're sick. But at the same time, like I don't think we all realize how strong and powerful our brains actually are. And we can get out of that mindset. We can get out of that sick mindset or that fearful mindset, right? So it also causes comparison. Fear causes comparison. Comparison is like the number 1 way of like taking away all the fun, okay? And comparison is probably one of the worst things that you can do for yourself and for the people around you. And I've talked about this before, you guys, constantly saying things like, oh yeah, gosh, this person has more than me, and this person has more money, or this person looks prettier, or is more handsome, or this, that, or the other. Like doing that not only hurts yourself, but it makes the other people around you feel bad too, because you're not confident in yourself. So we're trying to build confidence and destroy the fear, right? Yeah, it takes, Brittany, just like you said, it takes all of your joy away, right? So it's just like comparison, lack of confidence, all that stuff. It's just not good. And it terrifies you. It literally terrifies you. Fear terrifies everybody. When you're scared, when you're, afraid of what's going on, when you're fearful, like in this time in our country, that doesn't do anything for any of us, you guys. It doesn't. All it does is make the situation worse. And that's exactly what like Satan wants, is he wants fear. He wants chaos. He wants the situations to be worse. He wants us to be in all mass hysteria. The media wants us to be in mass hysteria. And why? Like, that's absolutely ridiculous. Coronavirus, we're literally talking about the flu. Like, again, that's just my opinion. But either way, the only way that we can get through fear is through action, right? So just like I was saying earlier, you can either fear everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. Facing everything and rising is taking action to the problem and figuring it out, okay? So the number one thing, or there's two things, okay, about how we can, I guess, do like, what's the best way to say this? Is taking action to our fear, right? So we can face it, find it, and figure it out. And we have to have confidence. But you also need to have, like, quote unquote, a backup plan, right? So there's a saying that a man with a job has a better chance of getting another job versus a man with no job, right? So when you have experience in what you're doing, and when you already have a job, another job is going to be more likely to hire you because they can tell that you have a work ethic, et cetera, et cetera. Same thing works with fear, right? So with fear, whenever you face it, it's like, what? And it just goes away, because you in yourself, quote unquote, has a job, which is taking action and figuring the situation out, finding out what's wrong with it, and facing the problem, right? Fear doesn't do well with that. When you take action and you have confidence and you're positive and whatever, fear doesn't like that stuff. So that's your other job, okay? So also, you need to, there's a lot of different things. Okay, so there's actually a list in here of the type of fears and actions. So there's a couple different things, like, so this is on actually page 54. Yes, builds the self-confidence a little bit, yes, builds that self-confidence little by little. Yes, little by little. Yes, Brittany, you're right. It builds self-confidence little by little. You're 100% right. So here's a couple different things that, like, fear versus action, right? I'm just going to list off like the first two. So embarrassment because of personal appearance. So that's a fear, right? We get embarrassed because of our personal appearance, whether we don't hold up to another person's standards, or we don't feel like we look our best, or we don't feel like we're in the group setting that we think we should be involved in, or something like that. Like, maybe you came from a different background and now, you know, maybe you're around people that didn't grow up the same way you are. That's fearful. That's fear or that's being embarrassed of your personal appearance and or your mindset or your education or whatever. You're fearful. But if you take action in it, so that's the fear part. The action part is improve it. It's very simple, you guys. Improve it. Go to the barber shop or the beauty salon. Shine your shoes. Get your clothes cleaned and pressed. In general, practice better grooming. It doesn't always take new clothes, right? So if you're fearful of being embarrassed because of your personal appearance, then do something about it. Take action, okay? Go to the beauty salon. Go to the barber shop. Shine your shoes. You don't even necessarily have to get new clothes. Get a new lipstick. Get a new fade. Get whatever. Do whatever you need to do, okay? There's also, this is another fear. Fear of losing an important customer. So this could be in business. The first one was more personal. This one could be for business, right? Okay, so if you're fearing of losing somebody that's important to you, like a customer or anything like that. Hi, Amber, how are you? Then work harder. Okay, if you want that business, if you want that customer, you don't want to lose that person, then work harder into making sure that you don't lose that person. Take action. Like I said, you guys, correct the things that you may have messed up on before. Tell that customer, hey, sorry, I was slacking a little bit before, but you know what? I'm on my game now. Promise you. And change it and actually do it. Don't just tell the customer that. Don't just lie, because no matter what, you guys, two things are going to happen when you lie, okay? Or when you are not confident or when you're fearful or whatever. Two things are going to happen. One, you're going to have the guilt, the doubt, the embarrassment inside of you. So that's going to destroy yourself, right? But two, the moment that a customer or a friend or a family member, doesn't matter, this can play in relationships or business, okay? The moment that somebody finds out that you're lying or that you're not, I don't even want to say necessarily not confident, but you don't believe in what you're selling or you don't believe in what you're telling this person and you're being hesitant and et cetera, you guys get my point. It's like the moment that somebody figures that out, they're already not going to trust you, okay? They're already, especially if you lie. And we can all attest to this. The moment you lie, you feel guilt inside. And then no matter what, doesn't matter if it's tomorrow, 3 weeks from now, or 3 years from now, the person you lied to figures it out. So no matter what, you're going to get caught up anyway, and the person is going to not trust you regardless, okay? So why don't you just be honest? Why don't you just tell the truth? And everybody knows that life happens, okay? If maybe you were slacking at one point in time and you had to pick yourself back up, if you actually were honest with your customer or your friend or whatever, family member, and just tell them, hey, you know what? I was going through a really hard time for a minute. I had a lot going on, but you know what? I am back. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get this stuff done. I'm here for you. No more crap. I'm in. You know what I mean? Though the person you're telling that to is going to understand you a lot better because we're all human. We're all a lot more alike than what we think, okay? We would understand that. If I told you guys, you know what? I've been just having a hard time. I'm not going to be on lives right now. You guys aren't going to be like, oh my gosh, Kat, what the hell's wrong with you? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to be like, you know what? I understand. Like, I have a life too, okay? If you got to take some time, you got to take some time, right? We all will understand when you're honest and you tell the truth and you don't fear it and you have the confidence and just say what it is. People are going to understand you a hell of a lot better than if you lie about it, because then at that point, they're just not going to trust you, like I said. So that's just a couple different things. This whole page, just remember, you guys, page 54, okay? 54 in this book. It talks about fear and then how you can face it with action and confidence, okay? So that's just a couple things. Also, you also need hope. You need hope and you need action to face the fears. And then at that point, you win. It's a victory, okay? You need hope, but you need to take action to face those fears. And then before you know it, it's a win. It's victory. It is what it is, right? So, also, I think that another thing is like people's perspectives, right? So, in one of these parts, a doctor, for example, a doctor held up a painting of a sunset and or a sunrise, however you guys want to define it. They all kind of, sunrise and sunset kind of look the same. But a doctor held up a picture of a sunrise, sunset, and asked a client of his or hers, whatever, what do you see? And in this painting, there was like mountains, and it was like the sunrise and sunset was like coming up or down or however you want to say it, okay? And the client looked at it and said, I see a storm coming. And that wasn't in the picture at all, right? So the doctor knew that it was that the client was either going to see a sunset or a sunrise, right? But the client was in such a negative mindset that all he or she saw was a storm coming over the mountains, blah, 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 whatever. That just shows you guys that his or her mind was so negative that they didn't even see the picture that was actually in front of their face, right? And this is a doctor that did this. This is true. This isn't fake or anything like that. Your mind controls so much of how we think. And if you're constantly thinking negative, in a picture alone, you're going to see something that nobody else sees. Unless, obviously another person has another negative mind. That happens. People do see other things in pictures, paintings, whatever. We don't have art, for no reason. But it's crazy to me that when your mind is in such a negative place that you can see when there's a sunrise or a sunset right in front of you and you see that a storm's coming, that's crazy, you guys. That is insane. Like, that one kind of hit me. And also, you can even take it like looking at a picture of, like, let's just take the sunrise and the sunset. Well, a positive person is going to see that the sun's rising, right? Sun's coming, light is coming, the day is new, the day is coming, we're starting a new day, whatever. A negative person's going to see that the sun is setting. The day's done, it's over, I don't care, this day sucked, blah, 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 right? So even in that case, you can even have a negative and a positive outlook, right? But everybody's mind is different. And that's okay. Nobody's faulting that at all. It's just crazy how people see different things in a different way. And that's the difference between fear and like confidence and positivity, okay? Also, they say, which, I agree with a lot of this stuff. You guys don't necessarily have to. They say that an unsuccessful mind, they take everything to heart. Now, hold that thought though, because there's a lot of people that wear their heart on their sleeve. There's a lot of people that just have a heart and they do take a lot of things to heart because they don't want to hurt their own feelings or the people around them or whatever. But unsuccessful people are bitter, right? They're bitter. They take everything to heart in a negative way. They also, the last thing they think about is negative. So like, oh, hon, I'm going to cook dinner today. Okay, cool. Cook whatever you want. Negative, right? Oh, what do you want for dinner today? I don't know. Figure it out. Like, if someone talked to you like that all the time, wouldn't you be like, what the hell? Like, you want to be like, hey, babe, what do you want for dinner today? And then be like, oh, well, I don't know. Maybe a cheeseburger, maybe pasta and salad, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, that's a better way to handle the situation, just in that kind of example. And that's something small, guys. That's not even talking about, like, a job or something important like a bill or something, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things. Like, when you're unsuccessful and you're in that negative mindset, or how should I say it? When you're in that negative mindset, it causes you to be unsuccessful, okay? So when you take everything to heart and you instantly get negative, when everything ends in negativity, that's you being fearful. That's you being bitter. That's you being completely negative all the time. Okay, why do you want to act like that? Why does anybody want to act like that? That sounds crazy. That sounds like such a awful kind of way to live. Like, I would never want to live like that, in a negative mindset like that all the time. And you guys, I have been, like I've told you guys, I've been depressed before. I've had the stressful days. We all have. I've had the anxiety and, all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, that you can have a bad day. It's okay to have a bad day, but you have to get up the next day and you have to be positive, right? There's so many things that we can do to have a more positive mindset. And that's why self-development is so, so huge. And that's why building confidence in yourself and in the people around you is even bigger, because nobody wants to be around negative people. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're the most negative person ever, and you may think it's okay to be negative with yourself, but I bet money you ask that negative person if they want to be surrounded by negativity, most of the time people are going to tell you no. But also, misery loves company. So when somebody else is miserable and depressed and negative and blah, 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 they want everybody else around them to be negative. And now that's, again, not everybody that's in a negative mindset, but because I kind of contradicted myself there. But at the same time, it's like, a lot of people are like that though. Misery does love company, but a lot of people can be negative and not want to be around negativity because they're trying to get the negativity out of themselves. And that's a hard thing to do sometimes, especially when you're depressed and you're stressed and you have anxiety and stuff like that. It's not a fun thing to get through, okay? But you have to be able to face that, okay? Successful minds, they move on to the next thing. If that person's going to be negative, let that person be negative, okay? Like, man, you must be having a bad day. Somebody peed in your Cheerios, man. Like, whoa, push it on. Like, let that person be negative. I'm sorry, you can be negative all day long, but that's not going to affect my life. You know what I mean? That's the way you have to think about it. That's the way a successful mind is going to think about things. That's the way a confident mind is going to think about things. We're going to push that negativity to the side because I don't want nothing to do with that, right? And I'm sure you guys don't either. Okay, so you push that stuff to the side. You take action. You take control of what's going on, and you don't let that control you, okay? Also, you try to have good, positive thoughts, okay? Remember what's important to you guys, okay? Look at the things you already have. You have a wife or a husband, kids, dogs, good relationships with your friends, a good job. There's good reasons to be alive. So even though we may be for example, you may be struggling with finances, with your bills. You may be struggling in a relationship. You may be struggling with your kids. Maybe they're sick. Maybe you don't have a good relationship with them. Maybe you don't have a good relationship with your family in general, or whatever the problem is. Be thankful for the things that you do have, though. You have a roof over your head. You have a car in the driveway. You have a job that gives you money, whether it's your own business or a corporation. You have food in your stomach. You have, coffee that you can drink every morning. Look at the things that we have and be thankful about that. The rest will figure itself out, okay? Money will always come, you guys, especially if you're willing to work for it. So, again, you can't even be fearful in that. You have to take action and figure it out, right? Let's see here. Also, the negative will only hurt you. What's negativity going to do for any of us? And especially even right now, what is this chaos and this mass hysteria and blah, 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 blah? What is that going to do for any of us? I'll wait. You know what I mean? It's going to do nothing. Fear and negativity and chaos, all this stuff, it's going to do nothing. So stop. Just stop. But be positive. Get the negative thoughts out of here. And you guys, we all have negative thoughts, okay? We all do. And what Brittany said, yes, always something to be thankful for if you're looking for it. Exactly. There's so many things. Look for the good things to be thankful for, okay? Also, we all have negative thoughts, you guys. All of us do, me included. It's okay to have negative thoughts. But at the same time, you have to be able, it's about how you control the negative thoughts, okay? So, Mondays, for example. Everybody hates Mondays. I get it. Totally get it. You got to go back to work. The weekend's over. It's the start of a new week. You have a long week ahead of you, especially when it's gloomy and crappy outside. Nobody wants to get out of bed, out of their warm, cozy bed. Nobody wants to do that. But at the same time, it's all about the way you think about it, okay? You have to have positivity. You have to just think about it in a different way. Get the negativity out of your mind. Get it. Go. Bye-bye. You know what I mean? You just have to think about it in a different way. It's all about how you control it. Also, destroy the negative thoughts before they become mental monsters. So that was kind of I liked that word, mental monsters. So the negative thoughts in your mind are considered mental monsters, which they are. Because what do? They destroy the way you feel, the way you act, the way you present yourself, everything. They're just monsters, right? Positivity isn't looked at like that, So get those destroy those negative thoughts before they become mental monsters, okay? Also, every day, I liked this. Every day, write down 3 things to be happy about. So if you're having a bad day, instead of being oh, damn it, this day is just stupid. Nothing's going right for me, blah, 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 blah. Instead of doing that, sure, you may have those thoughts. Trust me, I have those thoughts too. But sit down And whether it's taking a pen and a piece of paper and jotting down 3 things, or grabbing your phone and going into your notes and typing out 3 things, whatever it is, write down 3 things that you're happy about. The moment you start thinking happy thoughts, that negativity is gone. You're like, oh, damn, I got that nice car outside. What? I got that nice house to go back to. What? I have an amazing husband, blah, blah, blah. I don't have a nice car, you guys, but I mean, it's okay. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's other things, right, that we can be happy about, okay? So write down 3 things. When you're having a bad day, write down 3 things to be happy about. Also, don't build mental monsters. Build positive ones, okay? So just like I was saying, destroy the thoughts before they become mental monsters. Build positive ones versus, building fear and building mental monsters, Also, let's see, when and if you find yourself thinking negative, shut it down. Just shut it down. Get it out, okay? The moment you start thinking negative, I know that is so hard sometimes, especially when you're having a bad day, or like your kids are just pissing you off, or husband, wife, whatever is aggravating you, whatever. It's like, I know that it's so difficult to try to shut the negativity down, but you have to. The moment that you start thinking negative, you just got to shut it down immediately. And actually, I thought that this is kind of funny, and it seems to be the case. So if someone's just standing there smiling, it's really hard for you to be pissed at them, right? So when you're even upset with yourself, or you're having a negative day, or negative thoughts, or creating those negative, mental monsters or whatever, just smile. Because to be honest, it does something. I don't know. I can't really explain it, but it does something, right? So it's and if somebody's mad at you, or you're mad at them, and they just are like, what are you supposed to do? You're not going to be like, oh, screw you, dude, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be like, damn it, man. You're probably going to laugh. You know what I mean? So just smile, right? So negative, blow it off. Positive, be that's cool. You know what I mean? Be cool about it. Same thing. For example, you guys might understand this a little better. When you're watching TV and a commercial comes up and it says, oh, this medication causes diabetes and death and ulcers and maybe extreme bleeding or blah, blah, blah. You're like, what? I don't want to listen to that crap. And you change the channel, or you put it on mute until the commercial's over if you're watching a show on that channel or whatever. It's you're like, what in the world causes diabetes and death? I don't want to listen to that crap. You know what I mean? But then when a positive show comes on, or a commercial, and it's come to the gym and work out. We're doing $10 memberships or something, like Planet Fitness does or something. You're kind of like, oh, $10, man, that's kind of cool. Go to the gym, what? They're all positive. They got upbeat music in the background. It kind of makes you want to jam out. You're like, this is cool. You know what I mean? So it's the same concept, you guys. You can look at it like that. When there's a negative, not cool commercial on TV, you're like, huh? And then when there's a positive, awesome, upbeat commercial on TV, you're like, yeah. Look at it that way. Do you want the negative crap in your life? And do you want to be like, oh, why am I acting like that? Or why is that person acting like that? Or do you want to be positive and have that positive commercial on and be like, yeah, people are going to like you so much more when you're like that. And you're going to like yourself so much more when you're like that versus the negativity and the fear and the being, not confident and blah, 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 right? Okay. Also, I think that a lot of us are afraid of other people, right? We're all afraid of what people think about us. And you guys, I will talk about this till the end of time. This isn't the first time that I've talked about, other people and how, there's people that really control the way we think because we're so afraid of the way people think about us. But the funny thing is that we're all a lot more alike than what we think, okay? Why are we scared of each other? Why? Why are we, why am I going to be afraid of the people looking at this live video right now? Well, why? I don't want to be afraid of you guys. I want to be cool with you guys. You guys are my friends. Like, I want you guys to support me too. And I want to support you guys. If you guys were on live videos or, doing stuff with your businesses or whatever, I would support you. Whether it's a like, a comment, a share, coming to an event or whatever. Like, I want to support you guys just like I want you guys to support me. So why am I going to be fearful of the way you guys think about me? Like, I don't want that. I don't want that to be the case. I want you guys to love me like I love you guys, right? And also, we're a lot more alike than what we all think. We all want to work hard for the most part. There's plenty out there that don't. But we all want to work hard. We all want to get ahead. We all want to get rest and sleep. We all want to eat. We all want to, go out and have a good time. We all want to be successful. We all have problems. So why are we afraid of each other? Why? There is no good morning, Cassie. Long time no see, girlfriend. But why are we all afraid of each other? We don't need to be afraid of each other. We all want a lot of the same things. So there's no reason to be afraid of each other. And instead of being afraid of each other and fearing each other, if we all actually came together and were positive together, believed in each other, supported each other, teamwork makes the dream work, baby. That saying's not there for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, the more we all come together and we rise together and we face our fears and rise versus fearing everything and running, when we come together, the possibilities are endless. You go to the top, not to the bottom. And it's lonely at the top. You don't want to go up there by yourself. You want people to come with you. Some will come, some won't. But we have to stop fearing each other. We're all human, okay? We also have to stop just worrying about other people in general. Like, if there's something you want to do, if you want to become a freaking bodybuilder, go do it. Who cares? Who cares what people think? If you want to be freaking vegetarian or vegan or something, go do that. Who cares? Why do you care about what everybody's going to think about you? Yeah, maybe somebody's going to be like, oh, you don't eat meat, or oh, you don't do this. Yeah, no, I don't. What's it to you? You know what I mean? Like, why does it matter to you? It's not your body, it's mine. Me personally, I could never be vegan or vegetarian. I like meat too much, but that's just me. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to be like, oh man, that person eats meat or that person doesn't. It's like even little stuff like that, you guys, it sounds so stupid, okay? We have to stop being so fearful of each other and stop being so fearful of what's going to happen and actually just take action and do it, okay? And we're all human, like I said. So stop worrying and stop worrying about other people and focus on yourself and the things that you want to do. And eventually you're going to get there, okay? Also, let's see, where are we at? Doing what is right keeps you consistent and satisfied, and this builds self-confidence. So yeah, when you do negative things, all it does is lower your confidence, right? And it just like makes you feel bad inside as a person, and it makes the people around you feel bad too. But when you actually like are consistent and you're satisfied with yourself, that builds confidence, okay? And you could use this in yourself, in a relationship, in a business. This stuff works for all types of things, you guys. Building confidence and destroying fear is for everything. It's not for just one thing or the other, okay? But when you're consistent about it, you're satisfied with it, it builds the self-confidence all on its own. And like I said before, there's two things that are going to happen whenever you're fearful. You're going to fear guilt because you lied or you cheated or you stole or you weren't, telling the truth about something, blah, 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 blah. You're going to feel guilt in yourself. And then the second part is the moment people find out, they're not going to trust you or like you anyway. So why are you lying? Why are you being fearful? Why are you not being confident? Those two things are going to break a person, okay? When you feel guilt inside yourself, and then when people start to not trust you or believe you or even like agree with anything you have to say, because you're not being honest with yourself so people can actually relate to you and stuff like that, like all it's going to do is destroy you as a person. And then you're just going to give up, and then you're going to fail anyway. And the only way to fail is when you give up. So that's what you can't do, right? Also, okay, so to think confidently, you have to act confidently. So there's a couple different things, and this will kind of be like the end of this, you guys. So sorry this is a little long, but I have been gone for like a week and a half, so there was a lot to talk about. But so to think confidently, you have to act confidently. So there's 5 different things that we can do to better our confidence, okay? So one is be a front seater. There's a lot of people that, have you ever noticed, which I was one of these people, when you're in school and you go to the back of the class? I went to the back of the class all day long, okay? I will not lie to you guys about it. I hated being in the front of the class. So one, be a front seater. When you're in the back of the class, that instantly you're cutting off everything you're trying to learn about, okay? When you're in the front of the class, you're actually up front, taking action, facing your fear of not sitting in the back of the class, and you're ready to go. You're ready to learn. So one, be a front seater, okay? And again, this can be in a lot of different things, guys. It doesn't have to just be in business or whatever. It can be in relationships. It can be in friendships, whatever. So be a front seater. Second is eye contact. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. When you don't make eye contact with me when I'm speaking to you, I'm like, what is wrong? You know what I mean? They say that when people don't do eye contact, they either are intimidated by you, one, or they just haven't learned that that's something you should do is make eye contact. Or, you know, there's a couple other things you guys understand, but eye contact is huge, okay? So remember, this is talking about when you think confidently, you have to act confidently too, okay? So be a front seater, eye contact, walk 25% faster. I know that that sounds really weird, but have you ever noticed, like, okay, I'm gonna do a little something. When you're walking, well, let's say we're at Walmart, okay? When you're walking and you see somebody like this, looking down all the time, just looking down, you're like, man, that person's probably upset, like somebody's mad or not having a good day. You know what I mean? They're slow, they're slouched, they're looking down, da-da-da-da-da. No, when you're upright and you're walking and you have confidence in that walk, that shows people everything. Just in a walk alone, you guys, okay? So, and when you walk faster, you get shit done. I mean, it is what it is. A lot of people say, oh, what are you going to do? Kill, like, you know, a second of your time. Same with, like, driving. What are you going to do? Get there a minute faster? Okay, I get that, you know, and sometimes it's not the best to speed or do whatever. But at the same time, like, when you walk 25% faster and your head's up and you're not slouched, you're not all slow, you're not, you know, this is a negative, depressed kind of mindset, okay? When you're up, when you're ready, you're walking, you're on a mission. You got somewhere to be, you got something to get. We're going into Walmart, we're getting this thing, I'm checking out, I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, so that's another thing. So be a front seater, have eye contact, walk 25% faster. Your posture and all of that is huge. Posture, speed, head up, shoulders back. Like, that's what they tell you. Like, that's the first couple things about confidence is your head up, shoulders back, and walk straight. Walk, you know, be up, right? Okay, so walk 25% faster. Speak up is number 4. When you go into an event, okay, and you're in a conversation, most of us get into conversations more than we go to events. So when you're in a conversation with somebody and they're the person doing all the talking, that's fine to a certain degree, but at the same time, if you have something to say, speak up and say it. The only way that people are going to know what you're thinking and what's going on, and if you have knowledge or intelligence or whatever, is when you speak up and say something about it. So that makes a world of difference, you guys, when that boosts confidence. And actually speaking up and having that boost of confidence actually is like an excellent medicine, because the endorphins are going. You're like, ooh, that person just said something that I know about. What? And then you're like, hey, dude, no, that topic that you just said, I know about that too. Like, let me tell you what I know. And that person's going to be like, oh, yeah, man, I love that topic. What do you mean? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then the conversation's going to get better and better and better. And then that person's going to know that you're educated in that. Now, if you just sit back behind the scenes and don't say anything and just listen to that person's never going to know that you know anything about it. And if you sometimes speaking up and talking about what you know about, that person later may talk to somebody 2 weeks from now and be like, oh, hey, you know what? Actually, a better person to talk to about this topic is Kat, or Linda, whatever. It's like, I'm actually going to give you her number or his number or whatever, because we were talking about this topic 2 weeks ago and he or she really knew her stuff. I think you should talk to her. And then that's like instant business or an instant friend or an instant relationship or whatever the case may be. So speak up, you guys, speak up. Also, it beats fear. You know what I mean? Like, it beats the fear. Like, when you actually speak up and you actually, like, I don't know, talk about the things that you know about, it makes it not so fearful. And the more you do it, the more it's not going to be as scary. And 5, big smile, and smile big, okay? So we had be a front seater, eye contact, walk 25% faster, speak up, and smile big, right? Smiling big, like I was saying, when someone's looking at you smiling, you're not going to be like, you know what I mean? You're going to be like, you're going to smile back. Smiles are contagious. It is what it is. So when you want to think confidently, you have to act confidently. Those are the 5 things that you need to do that can help you boost that confidence, right? And really, that's like the best recap ever. You know what I mean? Like, we talked about being positive. We talked about that fear is not just in your mind. It is something real that we have to realize that it exists before we can conquer it. Fear causes a lot of different things, sickness and lack of confidence and comparison, and it terrifies people. You got to take action, okay, to get through the fear. You got to face it, find it, and figure it out, right? I mean, there's so many different things. You got to have confidence. Despite the negativity, you got to be positive. You got to throw that negativity away. You got to walk away from it. You got to blow it off. You got to shut it down, okay? You got the positivity. Let it control you. Don't let the negativity control you. Also, don't be afraid of people. Stop being afraid of what everybody else is going to think. Stop being afraid of people, okay? Some people are going to follow you and they're going to like your stuff and they're going to understand, and some people aren't. It's the way of life. Not everybody is going to like you, okay? And that just is what it is. The moment you start to realize that, the more you just won't care. Also, we're all human, okay? Just do what's right, be consistent, stay satisfied, and it builds confidence. And like I said before, you guys, that was just kind of a recap. And also, again, you got to have, if you want to be confident, you got to act confident, and you need to do those 5 things. And you guys, that's really it. I know this video was a little long and I'm so sorry, but I was gone for a week and a half. I'm so glad to be back home. And even though this weather sucks and the coronavirus is like taking over everybody's brain, I'm still positive, and it is what it is. I always end on a quote, as you guys know. I thought this one was awesome, and it is actually from this book. So the author is David J. Schwartz. It says, no one is born with confidence. None of us are born with confidence, you guys. So no one is born with confidence. They acquire their confidence, and you can too. So just remember that. None of us were born with confidence. Okay, we had to acquire the confidence. The confidence was built up in us as we grew, okay? And you can have the confidence too. Learn, educate yourself, self-development, speak up, open up, even those things. Be a front seater, have eye contact, walk 25% faster, smile. Like, there's so many things that we can all learn from that. So I hope you guys learned something from today. We're on chapter 3, baby. So next Monday will be chapter 4. And I have some big stuff coming up, guys. So even though this video was long, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope some of you, if you watch the replay, just #replay. And other than that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good Monday. Be positive. Love you guys. Bye.